When you've been live for 2 minutes and you didn't know it. Well. We are live. So hi. Hello. We will continue this in just a second. Let me tweet out that link. And we'll talk about this, what we're working on today. Okay. Tweet sent. All right. So we're working on this desert scene here. And there's a lot of refining that needs to be done here. All right. Officially starting now. Hey everyone, today we're welcome to... No, just kidding. Okay. So we've got this desert scene, which I'm working on for Marrow Root. And we've got our glorious lines and our glorious colors. Together we have this majestic vista. It is not done by any stretch of the imagination, and there are a few things that I really don't like about it, and a few things I really do like about it. So we'll be trying to fix a few things, trying to make some things better, and we'll see how it goes. Thank you for joining me. Plants here. We've got our little opossum. So one thing I really don't like, opening this back up again, is this corner here, which is just kind of a jumble of, vague stone shapes. I don't like that, and that needs to be redone. Also, we have some kind of cross-hatching stuff going on here that is nowhere else. Still working out kind of the full art style of the game. I think I'm going to be mostly eliminating the old cross-hatching, but we shall see. So we're going to start off by figuring out what goes in that corner instead. So just also I need to work on the ground. And we have some lighting issues. There's a lot to do, basically. Photoshop. Oh, I see. There we go. All right, so let's work on the ground a little bit, shall we? I need to fix that corner. Okay. My shortcuts aren't working properly. Run my scripts. There we go. All right, so this corner isn't working properly, so we're just going to try a new way of patching it here. We're just gonna paint it out on a temp layer. And we're gonna fill in the new stuff. All right. So eventually, I shall have to think about how we go about drawing separately the items that need to be drawn separately. I think I'm going to keep the lines and the color on separate layers for this too. Just to make things a little bit less of a headache to incorporate into the full piece. So, but also sketch layer. All right, name your layers, kids. All right. So what do we want here instead? Well, we have some broken pieces of sandstone here. So those can be kind of buried in the ground a little bit. I don't love this window, so maybe we can, and I like having something dark there, but maybe the window just needs a little love. Do you need a little love, window? Primarily the problem is with this weirdness going on here. This whole perspective weirdness. Because it's not so good. I don't know how to solve that problem. So the problem I'm dealing with is, okay, this wall and this wall and this wall and this wall are all technically vertical. But there's kind of a forcing the top in a little bit to have a little bit more perspective. And it's really exaggerated, actually. Now, Minish Cap solved this by bowing the walls a little bit. So let's have a look at what they did. Because straight lines, okay, so you actually can't see the sides of buildings. They're kind of a flat line box shape for the houses, except there are sometimes when you can. I mean, Minish Cap, for being such a beautiful game, has a lot of irregularities. That's fine. That is totally fine. But when you try to emulate Minish Cap too closely, you emulate some of those irregularities, and it can be... I've seen a lot of games emulating Minish Cap, because it's kind of like a thumbprint. So, part of the problem is we've got too much angle on these walls. So it kind of breaks down where this line and this line are supposed to be parallel, right? If it was true perspective. But I'm not going to be too bothered about that right now. So we've got the broken piece of sandstone. What else could we have here? So we've got these columns. We've got a little bit of column over here. Why don't we have a big chunk of column that's kind of could have fallen off and embedded itself in the ground quite a while ago and as sand, you know, blowing up against it. I mean, do we just want to have a whole bunch of collapsed stone stuff? Do we want to just have another big piece of sandstone? Do we even care? Do we just leave it? And another thing, I really don't like that these columns are just like sitting on the sand. That's dumb. So we're going to go down to the line layer here. We're going to unlock that alpha. And we are going to so these columns should really be resting on something, right? Maybe something that's like similar or same level as the sand. That's okay. But they should be on something solid. And something not completely square. You know what? So we've got the sandstone here. Why don't we just have this? I don't want to bring the corner of this too close to contact with the sandstone, or else we can actually stick it behind the sandstone. Make it tall. Okay, let's move our opossum. Put him up there. Good. Aha, so this fixes a problem. This fixes several problems. But first, let's just grab some, proper perspective. So wait a minute, we're on the lines layer. But we're on that lines layer. It's okay. Wait, no, we're not. No, we're not. Are we? No, we're not. It's okay. It's okay. Lanza. Yeah, that's fine. All right. So creating a temporary layer here just so we can get the proper perspective. Going to draw lines between those two corners. And where the lines cross in the middle, that's the middle of this rectangle. Basic perspective stuff. right. And then we're going to want to we're making a staircase here. So we could get that to be precise, but you know what? I've got an idea. Turn on some symmetry. There we go. So we put the symmetry line dead in the middle of that box, so we can just whoosh, delete. Yes. And then paint in a nice staircase. However, first of all, we're going to have a little bit of it's not going to be a straight box kind of staircase. We're going to have and my gosh, I was not planning on putting a staircase in this, so I'm going to find a quick reference for a stone staircase. All right. But not that kind of stone staircase. Can we find a sandstone staircase? I'm sure that's not really a thing. I mean, it is, but that's not what I'm really looking for. How about an ancient stone staircase? That's starting to look better. You know, I'm not showing these things on stream because I don't own the copyright to this stuff. And I'm not copying from these photos. I'm just filling my mental suitcase with images. That's lumpy. I can actually show you these ones because I'm on Unsplash, and Unsplash is the best site. Those are just too lumpy. Yeah, I don't like their shape. Kind of bricks, those are pretty nice. Those are close. So I like really, precisely cut steps, but with some irregularities in aging and such. So I think I'm going to use that as my reference. Unsplash is golden, by the way. Use Unsplash for reference because it is free, do what you want with these photos. So you're not going to get in any trouble with rights holders coming and saying, you drew my staircase, or whatever. And look what I've done. On the wrong layer. Also, let's clear this out. I seriously need to think about how I'm going to finally turn symmetry off. Managing, I think probably I will have to do some finagling to get, no. Can I, yes, thank you. That's wrong too. That's okay. We can fix that edge. So the edge of this block here should not be straight vertical. It should also have a little bit of where you can see the side. And that's fine. We'll fix that. We'll fix that in post. turn symmetry off. Get rid, turn, must use symmetry. Yes. All right, let's make a new sketch layer. And to remind me it's a sketch layer, blue. So I feel like this is a little bit awkward. Go away, Photoshop. So if we have it come down like that, we have just a little bit of a see the side of that block. But then this is weird. So we need to extend that out a bit. Yep. And make this a little taller maybe. And now we're going under the color up there. So it's the thing that we were originally going to fix. Let's stick those down below. That's fine. Label your layers, kids. Okay. Right. And over here, oh, we've been, yeah, that's okay. That's not a problem. We're fine. How are we going to deal with this over here, though? This is going to get really weird. We're going to have to redo some of this. But that's fine. I didn't like it very much anyway. So we're going to have the sandstone come down a little bit more, like this, and we're just going to turn this into kind of a ledge and a cliff. I like that. This can hang out over the cliff. I dig that. And of course, because I still have symmetry on, I sketch the cliff on the other side. We don't need two cliffs, just one cliff. Whew, and that blue sure does vibrate when up against that orange. Oh man. Alright. So that's an improvement. Now let's turn symmetry back on. Let's use symmetry, please. And we're going to sketch those stairs. Now I think generally the rule, the perspective in this type of game is do whatever looks the best. It is a mixed perspective game. So we're not being super adherent to any particular perspective. Now what looks best for stairs in this game? Definitely not that. Definitely not that. Do we want to do kind of stairs continually angling downward gradually? Do we want to just have a consistent perspective on the stairs? What do we want to do? So, more reference collection. Now we're going to look at top-down stairs in video games, how other creators have handled it, because it is very nice to be able to learn from people who have figured these problems out before. So stairs, those are kind of cool. Yeah, I like that. Cool. Yeah, so that's a really good idea of how to handle them, basically. Put kind of bars on the sides, like this. So we have kind of like, they could even be kind of like railings or something if we wanted to, but we're just gonna put, because that's fine. Yeah, that looks good. Also, we've got to remember to put some seams and stuff in there. That's fine. Now we've got some stairs, but we need to have the same stair repeated over and over again, spaced appropriately. We're not going to just eyeball that. We're going to create a new layer, draw one stair on it, like that. We'll want 4 stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're also not just going to try to drag these into place, we're going to distribute them properly. Might have to make that a little longer. We'll see. Grab the 4 layers, and then we're going to line them up vertically along a vertical axis, then we're going to distribute them horizontally. That's, well, maybe I got the bars exactly right. Well, pretty close. Shows you how good I am at eyeballing things. Not very. Okay, that's good. Let's merge all those down. So now we have a nice sketch of a staircase. We are going to turn those into some little railings so our possum doesn't fall off. But then we have that problem. That's okay. I'm not going to worry about it. Alright. And we'll go in here and I'm just going to put a few indicators of where the blocks will kind of break up. And I'll make them prettier and more weathered when we get to the final line work. Now we're going to drag that sketch down below the lines. Let's banish the colors. Oh gosh, maybe we shouldn't banish the colors. And we're going to work on real lines. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. The lines that will go in the actual game, if this concept art actually goes in the game, which it won't. But we'll be treating these lines with the same respect anyway. Which means that's enough of this holding shift to get straight lines thing too. Rough them up. And also see a symmetry. You know what? We've got some straight lines here though. I think straight lines are okay. But let's so what I'm doing here with these lines, I want the lines to be straight. You know, I don't want to just have everyone wander with, you know, the irregularities of my hand when I'm drawing them. But I also don't want it just to be dead straight line straight across. So I'm dragging the edge, the line that describes the edge of one brick at a time, so that we get some of that irregularity. Also, I'll break it up with, you know, little bits broken out of the stair and cracks. That's all right. And this will read visually a lot more as stairs once I get colors in here. Right now it's just gonna kind of be a mess. A mess of lines that will be a little bit hard to read in terms of, you know, understanding what's going on visually. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Okay. What we want is, you know, a mix between kind of the ordered, you know, precise world of the computer, where we can have straight lines that, nope. Straight lines that look very clean and nice, and, you know, the chaos and the complexity and the messiness of, well, humans. The human hand, right? And natural materials. So it's a dance, yeah. All right, and let's just put a couple of these on just to remind us that we need more bricks next time. Although I think I might do actually kind of like, no, I don't think so. Anyway, let's real quick just put a bit of color in there so we can see what the stairs might sort of look like in 3 dimensions. And yeah, we still have some, you know, sand texture lines in there, and we're gonna do some shadows. We're also going to probably be lightening it up to match the rest of the stone around here. Not the sandstone, but the cut stone that's lighter. Okay. And I like some of this messiness. I might reduce it later. We're going to grab some of that blue shadow because this shadow is facing up towards the sky, so it's catching some of the reflected blue light. And then we'll have to put some over here. We'll probably get that darker in time, but for now, that's fine. Put it a little bluer. Little colder. All right, and also we're gonna have to put some lightness up top on here. Although this stone might be a different color in the final estimation. But we'll leave it for now. Now this shadow down here is not gonna be so red, and there's going to be some bounced light coming up here, so we're going to get our soft round brush, we're going to create a new temp layer, and we're going to have just a touch of bounced light from the sand up in there. And this is going to be brighter. And also this is all too dark, but so we need to lighten this up in an irregular way because shadows are going to fall differently on different bricks a little bit. And there we go. A beautiful three-dimensional staircase-ish. Move a bit of it, but leave a bit of it because it's kind of nice. Yeah, so that's not bad. Now, obviously, we need to go down to the color layer and we need to, you know, make all of this up here stone. You know, match it and everything, and we need to make all this down here match. But yeah, that looks pretty good, and that really improves the structure of the kind of desert temple. I dig it. So that's it for tonight. It's 11. So I am calling it for this evening, but thank you for joining me for watching the stream, and I'll see you later on.